Hello and welcome everyone to episode 191 of One Piece at a Time, the One Piece read-through podcast where we read and discuss 5 chapters of the One Piece manga each and every week. I'm your host, Derrick, and I'm joined by my wonderful co-host and freelance letterer, Brandon Bovia. How you doing, Brandon?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm, of course, freelance letterer, Brandon Bovia, and, you know, I feel like we're really close to the end now. It really feels truly surreal. Like this is a really action-packed set. You know, I feel like the story doesn't advance a whole ton, but it's still really fun. We've got, maybe like 4 episodes of Whole Cake left.
Something like that.
Just feels absurd to me.
This feels like a set that's all about moments. Rather than any forward progression. It's like little things here and there that's building up towards that finale. It's still progressing, but not this. The story is pretty much not stagnant, but it's like you're not gonna get big reveals anymore.
I feel like we're past that at this point. Yeah. Like it really is all like the story of Whole Cake Island has kind of been told to a certain degree, and we're kind of wrapping it up. You know, we're picking up the scraps, right? I feel like. Like the story of Charlotte Katakuri is kind of the last big thing. And boy, Katakuri is something else. That's for sure. He is something else entirely. I've been looking forward to this one for a long time. I think I said so when he first got introduced, but Katakuri is a big favorite of mine, and I've been looking forward to really kind of breaking down this fight in general. Yeah. So,
I feel like I can get a few predictions in with this one as well. We'll see.
Oh yeah, I would love to hear them.
We'll see if I can get accurate or not. Because we are really getting to the cusp of the end, and I've said it before, but it is so hard to stick to 5 chapters at a time sometimes.
It really
Some
is.
weeks you're like, okay, that's fine. And then other weeks you're like,
Last week's cliffhanger was brutal, but I'm glad because the payoff to it is just fantastic.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So let's get to that payoff with chapter 881, Wave Room. And as we'll see with the later chapters, we're bringing Dansai's story to a close because, well, he is already married to Baby 5.
Yeah, hey, speaking of payoffs, man, the ship that we never in a million years would sail. But, even Granddad back there and we're celebrating, we got Boo back there. Like, hey, it's all good, man. Yeah. Sai's doing great.
The only one that seems upset about the whole thing is Sai himself. Like, he's like, he's
like, why is this happening?
Amazing. I don't know. It's fun. It's cute in its own way. Even with Sai, I feel like he's looking like that just because, well, he is fully wrapped up in bandages. It's not exactly a look for a wedding. So.
Yeah, a lot of weddings. His certainly went off a lot better than Sanji's.
That's for sure. That's for sure.
But also, gosh. I'm really happy for Baby 5.
She needed this.
Yeah,
She needed this. She deserved better, as we could tell. And thank God she got that. But we get into the chapter itself, and as we left off, there's a giant wave ridden by Big Mom getting ready to completely overtake the Sunny. And Luffy's like, "Wait, what do you mean you're done for? You might not make it. What's going on here? What's happening?" And they're all panicking. It's like, I'm sorry, Pedro. You gave yourself up to keep us alive, and we're already gonna die here, and we don't have enough for a coup de burst. So
yeah, I love that. Paris Barrow's trying to keep the white lie that he had in mind. He was like, wait, Mama, you're gonna seek the cake that they stole. Whereas at this point, she is just completely out of her mind. Right? She. It just says wedding cake as this giant wave crashes down on them. She doesn't even like the concept that the cake has been stolen from her is all that matters at this point.
I wonder if this is one of her longest running hunger pangs.
I have to believe so. This like. I mean, I feel like if it's to the point, and as sort of her kid said earlier, right? Like it's her imagination has run wild with whatever this cake might possibly be. So it might not even live up to expectations, you know. So it's just like, well, if she gets her hands on, you know, like whatever cake that they do bake, it's like, will it actually work for one, two, you know? So it's again, I feel like everybody is in kind of an existential crisis of their own. And it's just all because this 68-year-old woman can't get the cake that she wants.
Exactly. But the Straw Hats kick into action as she's crushing down upon them. They tie up the sails in a specific way. Jinbei grabs hold of the ropes that they all tied to the sail, and it's like says it's enough. It's like, no, you cannot control an entire sail alone. It's like, Nami, where's the wind? Strong gusts coming from the south. What are you gonna do? I'm tacking into the wind at high speed. It's like, wait, why are you turning us around? We're going into the green room. It's like, wait.
Jinbei's got a plan, dude.
Yeah, he does. And they head toward the wave. They think the green room is heaven. It's like, oh, God.
Yeah, it's like, oh, we're going to die. This is it.
And as Nami kind of mentions, as the wave crashes down on them, they're okay. The water's coming down, and they're like, well, this is the afterlife. It's so beautiful. And Jinbei just says, this is quite a good ship. The green room is a brief wave room that forms inside the collapsing wave. When I was a boy, we fishermen found it the perfect place to play. And they're like, we're inside the wave? And Jinbei is literally surfing the Thousand Sunny through this green room.
Man, we were talking about like last week or week before maybe, where it was like, oh, like Jinbei finally feels like he's part of the Straw Hats, and here he's like, hey, we've got a good ship, a good navigator, with a good helmsman. This craft is invincible. So if you're wondering what Jinbei's role was as he joins the Straw Hat crew, he's the helmsman.
I love
which
that,
is just
because
perfect.
I was wondering, like, what is Jinbei? Like, all this time, because I knew Jinbei joined the crew for the longest time, because of reading up to enough for Fishman Island previously. But I was like, what is he going to do? Because he doesn't stand out in any real way of what his role is as far as the crew is concerned. And I kind of took it that Frankie was the helmsman because he had done it, but no, he is just really the carpenter now. Just like how Usopp was filling out multiple roles until Frankie joined. Frankie was doing the same thing. And now that, you know, they have support groups here that they can help each other with, but with Jinbei here at the helm, holy crap. This is awesome.
Right, like what better helmsman than an actual fishman, right? Who really kind of understands the ocean and how the ocean waves work. So like it's perfect. Yeah. And it's interesting. It like kind of buys him a little bit of time because Paris Barrow and kind of the other Big Mom's kids, you know, they all think that they all got crushed.
Yeah. I love, real quick, Nami saying, I've never seen anyone helm a ship like this before. It's incredible. And the wave finishes crashing, and as you said, they think they're dead.
Yeah, no, dude, again, Jinbei just, he's the man. He's always the man. He will never not be the man.
Mm-hmm. And Paris Barrow reports in, is like, well, we've got everything cleaned up over here, Katakuri, and Luffy shouting into the mirrors like, wait, Nami, Brooke, Carrot, you guys okay? And Brulee's, of course, taunting us like, we were just about to invade the ship. Operation's off, boys. Sounds like our target is already sunk. And they're like, wait, you sure? It doesn't look like it's seawater through the mirror. It's like,
and then it breaks.
Just shattered.
Yeah. So that's, I love this too, because it's kind of like this misdirection, right? Like this kind of play with information.
Yeah, they completely buy it, and Nami tells them it's a captain's order. We got to break all the mirrors on this ship. We will find another way to get to Luffy. And I love how she takes command. I don't know. There's a certain bond between Luffy and Nami that just works. And I don't know if it's romantic or anything like that. It's just an implicit trust that comes out again and again, and it's always awesome.
No, I really do think that implicit trust is kind of like, that's the core key, like, behind all the Straw Hats, right? Like, it's that, and of course, you know, Nami will be the first person to just she'll bonk Luffy on the head for whatever kind of nonsense he's getting up to. But like when the chips are down, in situations like this, it really is just like, like we need to believe in our captain. Our captain believes in us. And there's just like those moments like that really do, I think, just sell not only the inherent trust between the Straw Hats, but I feel like is a really good contrast again between kind of like the internal kind of power struggles with Big Mom and her kids.
And they're all like, oh, they must be alive. That's strange. Don't know how that's happening. But all the mirrors are breaking one by one, and the other long neck Charlotte family member says, just breaking from the water, the pressure of the ship sinking. So don't need to worry about that. And Luffy runs off from the enemies so he can talk to the crew and gets the lowdown. It's like, okay, what happened? Candy Guy said he sank the Sunny. It's like, no, Jimmy was cool. We're all good. So now the enemy can't invade us over here, but you can't return the ship. It's like, no, that's fine. I'll find a way to. It's like, no, you won't. You don't have a plan. So listen, Luffy. Sanji's on Cacao Island working on another cake. We're going to head there. It's going to take at least 10 hours. That's 1 o'clock in the morning, which I hear that. I'm like, oh, God, it's another marathon fight like he had with Cracker.
Yeah. All right. Current objective, survive.
Which 10 hours.
It's not looking too great, right? Because he's like over the mirror is like, all right, once you've beaten him, find a mirror to lead to Cacao Island. Meanwhile, Katakuri is just already catching up to Luffy and stomping him in his tracks.
Yeah, and it just starts beating the heck out of him with that mochi, and Luffy. It's hard to tell exactly what he does here, but it seems like he shoves the mirror piece that he has into his mouth and squeezes it in his own lips in order to just utterly break it.
I think what also might be is I think it might have been that like he closed his mouth because he didn't want Katakuri to hear, but then the mirror piece is kind of like in front, and then Katakuri kicks him in the face. So I wonder if it was the kick from Katakuri that like shoved the glass into Luffy's face. Either way, it looks painful.
Yeah, it does. And Katakuri is going at him. Like Luffy's barely dodging all this, and he eventually coughs up the mirror. It's all the shards are down there, and it's such a weird. I was genuinely put off by these two panels where Luffy honestly looks a lot like Ace in the first, and then the second one it's like, what is this goofy face? Did he just lose his mind or something?
Yeah, or he just says, "Come back soon." I'll get this over quick. I'm gonna get bored just waiting around. Which that to me, that interpretation to me is like, okay, Luffy is kind of getting his butt kicked right now, but he wants to ensure to his crew that he's gonna be all right. He's like, I'm gonna get bored waiting. I'll beat Katakuri, no sweat, but he's not doing too hot, certainly.
Yeah. So he makes sure to take care of the rest of the glass, and Katakuri says, I don't intend to die here, you say. Shall I take that to be a last will and testament? And it actually ends with Luffy saying, I don't intend to die here. So Katakuri's whole thing.
The freaking future sight, man. Yeah.
Oh, so good. But yeah. Again, all action, not a lot happening, but again, I love the declaration from Oda of like, this is Jinbei's role.
Yes.
And
yeah, I think that's actually really, really important. And it feels so good, right? To finally.
That's the thing. I gotta be honest. I couldn't even tell that Jinbei was part of the crew as of Wano. Like I heard people talk about Wano, but never Jinbei. It's like, is he still not part of the crew?
Yeah.
So I was genuinely in the dark when he was part of the crew. And so
certainly I can
even now can kind of
the seeds are getting sown here. Yeah, right. Like, but I think in time it will become like exactly. It will become clear what Oda's intentions are.
Okay. But we do have an SBS. So first up is Somebody's talking about smoothies. Like, I can't even imagine the taste of various drinks that Smoothie squeezes, but there's one I can envision: the giraffe, or in its Japanese form, Kirin, just like that popular adult beverage. Are you a fan too? He's like, sure am. You figured that out pretty well. Stussy even mentions its smooth mouthfeel in the bottom panel. How very strange that when you squeeze a Kirin, you receive a beer instead. Boy, nothing hits the spot on a hot summer day like a cold pint of giraffe. just
yes, which
is a Japanese,
it's of course a nod to the.
Yeah.
The Kirin Ichiban, which I've had before, is a very good beer.
I've never tried it, but it sounds like Oda is like doing a commercial by saying it's like Stuffy even mentions a smooth mouthfeel. Like, all right, Stuffy, we gotta get an ad deal in here.
By now.
So
which is it's very funny in a manga technically for like kids and tweens and teenagers. Like, hey, here's this beer. It tastes great.
You saw your parents drinking a Kirin. I was like, oh, we're gonna play with that pun a little bit. So
yeah.
For Americans wise, it's like if instead of rolling up to like juice them, they rolled them up that you could smoke them, and you have a Camel.
Yeah. Or I remember the of course, like any number of anime and weird localization changes have all sorts of like ways to get around alcohol, but I specifically, the one that comes up on my mind is there's a bit in Yu-Gi-Oh! GX where there's like an alcoholic character who's clearly drunk, and they're just kind of like, oh, it's the hot sauce. He really loves his hot sauce.
Oh, God. And then I had a good laugh about this next one. It's like, who's the sharp-toothed panda girl in Big Mom's forces? Ah, that's Charlotte Poire, twin sister of Galette, the Minister of Butter. It's like, oh, okay. Well,
and that's it.
That's it. That's all we
Moving
get.
On. They're all, you thought she was so important.
I thought she was so important because Corinne just had her featured. So I'm like, and then it's a design that looks like a potentially important character, you know?
Yeah. It really does. It does. And Galette, for sure too.
Yeah, I mean, that's the impressive thing about all the Charlotte family is that
they're all distinct.
Oda designs them in a way that they're not just background elements; that they are distinct.
Yeah.
And weird. But then we get the height, age, and favorite foods of Parasparrow, Cracker, and Smoothie. Parasparrow is the oldest at 50, Cracker's 45, Smoothie's 35. They're all about 10 feet in tall, except for Smoothie, who's 15 feet tall. Good God.
It's the long leg tribe, baby.
I still wonder if Smoothie is going to have any kind of role. My guess at this point is like, no.
We're kind of running out of time.
So funny. You just completely skip over.
And it's interesting to think too. God, I feel like that has to be something the anime has to really give her a lot more prominence. I don't know who they would give her to fight if they needed to add more time.
It'd have to be either Carrot or Nami. That'd be my best guesses. That's typically how these things go. Although I will say I saw somebody comment that all those times we keep saying, I was like, oh, this would be this would be a perfect place for the anime to expand on this and have it fill it in. And they said every time you've said that, the anime does nothing.
Well, maybe I should work on the anime instead.
You think you would take those opportunities to expand it upon it and have just something there.
Yeah, I mean, I know like the anime adds new scenes, right? Like that's not nothing. And I guess it's just a matter of the things that they cut away from, which it feels like, especially at this point in the manga, it feels like we cut away a lot to kind of skip over stuff to keep the pace up. Which just feels like considering the anime is adapting a chapter, a half chapter, and can feel even now the anime still can feel kind of sluggish sometimes. So you would think that they would use all of the material they can to
those gaps, because it's like with Dragon Ball Z struggled with filler on Namek, but I feel like they did okay with filler in the Cell arc, because we need to have more time for stuff to get ahead. So let's just showcase Cell terrorizing towns. Sure.
Yeah, you get more like training time in the chamber with Goku and Gohan and stuff like the. I feel like there are things like that.
Yeah, and it feels like One Piece has those moments. And obviously, we haven't watched it, but it feels strange that they didn't take advantage of those opportunities.
One of these days, we're gonna get it right though, because like I know for a fact that the anime adds stuff. You know, I've seen it.
Okay. Okay.
So like it's. I feel like maybe we're just guessing the wrong things.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But let's get to chapter 882, Beyond the Emperor's Expectations. And time to focus in on Ideo's group, who are having trouble while sailing on the ship they got from Orlumbus. So we'll see what happens with this.
We'll see what happens there.
I think this might be the last group. I can't think of anybody else that was part of Straw Hat's whole.
We haven't done Haruden yet, the giant.
Oh yeah, we do have Haruden left. Okay, Endo and Haruden, fitting Endo and Haruden. But we get these just awesome panels with Katakuri to start out with. He's just like, nobody decides to die because they want to. Most death is unexpected and unwanted. So he's just like, basically throwing Luffy's words last chapter back at him. Yeah. And that's when Brule comes out to be a hype man for Katakuri.
Well, I love how much Brule, now that Katakuri is here, Brule really does feel like she's like a little sister. She's like, I'm going to tell my big brother on you. He's going to beat you up.
Brother Katakuri is not just undefeated. Not once in his life has his back ever even touched the ground. He's superhuman. Legend says he stood up on his own 2 feet the moment he was born and fell asleep sitting upright in his chair. He's never laid down in his life. He's a man who looks down even on the earth. And he is proud, cold, and powerful at all times. The perfect man. That's our brother Katakuri, and that's who you're dealing with. And all the while, Katakuri is like, just stop.
I feel a little awkward.
And Luffy goes to punch her, and I love this. Again, I love this sort of family connection Katakuri has. When he goes to punch, Luffy goes to punch Brule, and Katakuri just catches like, "What are you doing to my sister?" Just slams
right. Her. Like that. It's so good because it is just like from Katakuri's perspective, it's just like, all right, like who's this little upstart, right? Like who's this little kid coming after my family, right? Like I'm not gonna let you just attack my family. You're fighting me. And for all of like, I guess that's the great thing, right, about how Brule kind of hypes up Katakuri is that like it sells it, right? Like everything we've seen of this man up to this point is like, yeah, this dude is like kind of unstoppable.
He's legit.
like he's him. Yeah, he is legit.
we see his mochi thrust with his spear that just drills a freaking hole like right above Luffy. Like he feels unstoppable, and then it causes another explosion from the other back. Like this mirror world really does serve for a really interesting location to fight in.
It was really funny. I don't think I mentioned it last week, but like. Luffy had a line something where it's like, we can fight here uninterrupted, and I thought about that meme from Dragon Ball with Goku and Vegeta where they're like, oh, it's empty here, we can fight uninterrupted, and they'll put them in which place. So the mirror world, you never would have thought like, oh, this is where like Luffy's gonna have like his kind of big final fight, but it works, right? We can break as much stuff as we want.
Yeah. And we even learned the spear's name, Mole. So he's just ready to start.
Just drilled a mole into it.
Yeah, well, he drills it.
And again, he's just kind of like, tell me which least important body part you want to gouged off first. And even Brule in the background is like, yeah, start with his head, brother. Like she's just again, she's been the butt monkey for so long, but I love that now that Katakuri is here, she's just like, yeah, big brother.
She's taking advantage of it, and it actually works so well. Again, I refer to that bonus episode that we recorded of the stage show. That featured Katakuri and Brule. And I was like, why Katakuri and Brule? Because I had her associated with Cracker. And now oh no, she's here with Katakuri as well. She's just always kind of there, which is fitting. Okay.
yeah, exactly.
Amazing. But she is also cocky because she overheard where they're supposed to meet up, because she says, yeah, their ship is still intact. They're heading to Cacao Island. So, make sure to get there. And it's like, wait, Paris Sparrow's like, wait a second, my candy monster made a tidal wave that swallowed him up. How could they possibly survive it? It's like, I don't know. They're just alive and they're going to go there in the middle of the night. So, they have no idea that that'll be our final destination as well. So let's head that way. And Paris Sparrow's like, all right, your cakes and Cacao Island. Pudding's making a new one there. However it plays out, and let's head there. And he just thought, it's like, okay, no matter what, it's all going to happen on that island. I'm going to survive.
And then, of course, Big Mom, she's like, wedding cake? I was like, no. That's Nuts Island. The ship's not heading there. Just like, oh, no.
She's completely, because the Straw Hats are gone. She has no idea. She doesn't have a direction to be pointed in anymore.
She's completely uncontrollable.
Yep. Also, does that one nut in the island have a top hat because of Mr. Peanut?
Yeah.
It has to be a Mr. Peanut reference.
100%.
That's amazing. But the fight between Luffy and Katakuri continues as Luffy's just barely dodging everything. Like, Katakuri's on the attack, but he is just barely dodging it. And
we saw what the spear could do, and it's just like, you don't want that to, punch a hole in you. No. And I like that. Like, of course, Luffy's on the back foot, and he's just like, you always attack right in the spot where I'm gonna dodge. It makes everything twice as tiring. But even Katakuri's like, I've never had somebody dodge so many of my attacks. It's stressful. So he's like. This is supposed to be an easy kill for him, but he's like, I'm struggling a little bit.
Mm-hmm. And that's when he reveals that, naturally, he's an awakened Devil Fruit user. He does the same thing that Doflamingo does, and is able to turn the floor into mochi and gets a hold of Luffy. It's like, Gear 4, that sounds interesting, as Luffy's getting ready to do something. But
yep.
we take a little break to go back to Whole Cake Island itself in Sweet City, where Montdora is still trying to coordinate things. It's like, what the heck? We're not getting any updates on the location of the Straw Hat ship. What are the territory sea slugs doing? And it's like, you can't get around without them seeing you. So what the heck's happening here? And all the while, Peckham's is growling in the background. And we find out that he learned that Pedro died.
Pedro.
He's died.
Yeah. And then even but my brain. I was gonna say. I was trying to remember what he was calling out. He's Baron Tamago. I think
he's just always Tamago. I don't
yeah.
know his other one.
He's got a new title. He's a chicken. He's a little chicken now or whatever. But I do like that. I sort of from Tamago's perspective, thinking back on Pedro saying, they're gonna guide the world to a new dawn. But just 5 years ago, I witnessed him weeping for his life, and now they're kind of like, we've been underestimating Straw Hat, and then he's just, the way Baron Tamago puts it is just like, has all of this really been like a coincidence? All of the things that have been happening here.
He's just noticing all the stuff. It's like the chateau is toppled, the sea slugs are not responding. What is happening here? We've never suffered anything like this, and the fact that Pedro believed in him that much that he gave up his life when he was begging for it 5 years ago. It's like, there's something is up with this, and Montdora can't believe it. It's like a king's pride goes before a fall. We must prevent any possible blow to Mama's reputation by placing powerful battleships along the final stretch of the territory. So we got to figure this out.
Which I feel like is really building towards as the Straw Hats right now are kind of in the clear, especially since it seems like, Big Mom is kind of veering off. They're not getting chased any longer. So it's like, make sure they're not going to escape alive. So the biggest challenge really is going to be all here at the end. We're putting all of our ships at the very end of the territory.
Yeah. And that's not all. We get an update on what's going on with the Beige pirates, because turns out they did not get finished off either. They lost sight of the ship because of the sea slugs stopping their transmitting locational data. And Montour's like, okay, search the seafloor at once. We got to figure out what's going on here. And even Beijing's like, thought there'd be more of a pursuit, but looks like they're not setting off the territory sea slugs. So works out for us. Let's get to Cacao Island. We're taking the shortest route to Chiffon. He's like,
all right.
I am rescuing my wife. Like, hell yeah, baby.
Yeah. World's best dad and husband. And I don't think we've not seen his ship before.
No, it's pretty awesome.
It's apparently called the Nostra Costello, which is a cool name, right? Like, he's all right. Like, again, Beijing's still in play. We would have thought like, oh, he's all escaped by now, but he's coming back for the woman that he loves.
I like how it's all converging on this Cacao Island. Like, everybody has that destination to get to, and what happens there, who knows? Like, that I have no idea on that one.
Yeah, but and meanwhile, we've got a call in from Germa from Newstort.
Yes, and finally Montour gets some good news. It's what's the state of Germany? It's like, well, they were crushed by the might of 10,000. Their country is in a state of utter ruin. So, seems a bit drastic, but hey, expect no less. So don't destroy their clone production system. It's like, no, that was the whole point of this after all. But everything else has been leveled. And that's good to hear. It sucks for you that you caught our eye, German. We get to see the double panel of the others talking about this. It's just like, nah, German took them all out. No issue.
Yeah, I think that's Nietzsche on the phone. I guess with some kind of, well, I guess he's like pretending to be his voice. He's holding up a guy. So I was like, is he on the phone? Like, he's forcing him to talk, but I think it's literally just Nietzsche on the phone.
Yeah, I wonder if he's able to use his, like, because he's electric, I believe, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I wonder if he's able to use that power to sort of vocalize, and that's why he's holding the guy. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
again, not to call my bluff. What we literally just talked about this. This scene feels like the kind of thing the anime would expand on, because we hadn't really heard hide nor hair from Germa in like 10 chapters.
And it seems like a good opportunity to show off what they can do.
Yeah. And we just kind of get like, all right, Ishi's like, all right, move out. Let's get the ship moving. So now Germa's on the way, Beige on the way, like. Things are moving.
Not on the way. Luffy's trying to get him to be in the way. Oh God, I love how, because we were talking about, we haven't heard anything of Germa, and even here we don't see Judge. It's all the kids, but no Judge.
Right.
Featured here. So I'm what is Judge up to in this whole thing? That's my big question. So we'll see what happens there. But I love the feeling of just all these elements coming together. Like we were together again. We were together. We spread apart. We're coming together again. It's a very
exactly. Kind of by like
flow.
It's interesting too, because they all kind of have their own motivations, right? Like, because it's not like a situation where everybody's like, oh man, the Straw Hats are in trouble. We got to come save them. It's like. Everybody kind of has their own reason, and of course that they'll probably likely to end up benefiting the Straw Hats, in the grand scheme of things. But it is kind of like everybody's out for themselves, but kind of in a way that ends up helping everybody.
It's pretty great, and we'll see how that all comes together. Eventually. Certainly not this set.
This set really does feel like we're kind of putting things into place right now.
Mm-hmm. Keeping that fight going between Luffy and Katakuri while setting up all the other elements, moving them into moving the pieces into place. Otherwise, for the SBS, turns out they got somebody who's like, "Hey, if you, I have someone that promised we'd get married if you get on the SBS. So please post this letter. You have to make my day." And turns out, hey, I kept my promise. We're getting married. Will you come to the wedding? It's like, there we go. And he's like, "Oh, cool. They're getting married. I'm not doing this again. Don't even try.
Don't do this again.
It's a one-time thing."
Wow, that was volume 58, which I think is like a Marineford or like beginning of time skip.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Jesus Christ. Yeah.
And then we get this weird series of letters from Sanadachi. I don't know what's going on there. Katakuri's a handsome guy. Did you model him after me? I think I might have. Lola and Chiffon sure are ugly. Did you model them after my wife? It's like, I think it would do you some good to get stepped on by your wife. Pez is really cute, but my son is cuter. It's like, you guys seem to be getting along just fine. It's like, what the hell? So weird. I don't get it.
Oh, these SBSs, man.
Seriously. But let's move on to chapter 883, Merienda. And apparently there's a fight going on. They're just going to get in the middle and start beating everybody up.
Yeah, Deo and the his tongue out. Was it Jeet or Abdullah? I think.
Yeah, Abdullah and Jeet.
Yeah.
So,
man, how did I remember? God, how did I
I'm impressed by that.
Yeah. I don't remember which one is which.
Oh, I couldn't tell you.
Yeah.
But yeah. Get into the chapter itself, and Luffy is wrapped up in the mochi, trying to do his muscle balloon to prepare for Gear 4. But man, uses the mochi to knock his mouth away. He can't complete the transformation.
It's one of my favorite things is sort of the lampshading the transformation trope, right? It's weird that it took this long for One Piece to do it, but of course with the guy who can see the future, Katakuri is like, why should I just watch you transform? I already know it's coming. He's just like, nope, flicks him with some mochis. Nope. And I love these, like, I refuse to underestimate you. And uses some of that awakened mochi to just kind of, bring out his mirror mochi and just smooshes him.
Yeah,
you just see Luffy, like, trying to breathe, tapping out.
Yeah, he's just buried under this massive pile of mochi. And it's like, sorry, I've been about finishing the fight this way, but I've been a bit on edge. And Luffy's like literally suffocating. You see him like tapping and all that stuff. It's
yeah.
It's bad shape. And turns out he has a bit of a timetable. He got stuck dealing with Luffy, so he's 40 minutes late for his Merienda afternoon snack. I don't know what Merienda means. I should probably show.
Well, I think afternoon snack. I think that's why they put that there.
Okay, perfect. So it's like, all right, chefs, bring out the snack. It's like, we prepared at 3:00, just like always. We understand for perfectionists such as yourself, failing to enjoy the daily Merienda at the proper time must be very upsetting. Unfortunately, 40 minutes was enough time for the tea to grow cold. It's like, iced tea will do fine. It's like, oh, he's so considerate. So, I'm pleased to announce that today's Merienda is donuts piled high with chocolate and sweet cream. And he makes a mochi house because
mochi house.
Turns out
in the middle of a mirror world.
Yeah. Turns out sugar is the root of his strength, which I wonder how that.
Well, this is such a fascinating setup, right? Where the Katakuri is like, all right, nobody is to enter my abode, and the chefs are like, we wouldn't dare dream of it. Do enjoy. And then they're just like, nobody's ever seen Katakuri in the act of eating. He's such a particular man. He refuses to relax even when he eats. And it really feels like it's building off of what Brule was saying earlier, of just like Katakuri he's that guy. He's built so different, that he is. It feels like he takes everything so seriously, Not even during tea time. The whole point is to unwind and have a chat.
And he can't do it. He has to stand and just eat the donuts on his own time, and that's it. So he's in his personal spot now that Luffy's been defeated. Yeah. Except Luffy's not defeated. Concentration. He's not been defeated because Luffy ends up on the other end, bursting through the layer of mochi. He's like, I ate the mochi, that's how. What's with all the pirates here? Do I have to eat to win all my fights?
And of course he's all fat now.
It's like, all right, what do you guys like? Okay.
I love this bit too because of course, as we just learned, Katakuri was like, nobody interrupt me. So the chef's like, Master Katakuri, he's long gone from the mirror world. He's at important business. And then Luffy's like, I can sense the voice of somebody powerful from in there pointing to the house. He's like, oh no, observation hockey.
Is he eating donuts? Observation is like,
I think that was just smell.
Yeah, I think that was just smell. So he's relaxing, huh? So he thinks he won. It's like, no, he's communing with the god of battle in his own spirit. It's a sacred time for him. None shall be allowed to interrupt. And then Luffy runs off the other direction and then comes on back because they start calling him a coward. And then he comes back. He's like, cool, skinny again. It's like, wait,
He ran off. I wonder how much time I just that like 4-panel sequence is just such good comics, right? Like it's just like, okay, we've acknowledged that Luffy's fat, and then like, all right, boom, bam, he's and I feel like that also kind of like, hey, like gave him a chance to digest. He's kind of back to full power now. Like, all right, we're good.
Yeah, we're working all right here. And so he prepares the Gum elephant gun and just bursts through that little house of mochi that Katakuri created, and they're apologizing. Like, we're so sorry. What the hell?
Yes.
Where Katakuri's on his back,
yes,
surrounded by his donuts, just going, donuts, sweet, delicious donuts, nom, nom, nom. Even the hole is a treat. And his mouth is like, his lower jaw is just unhinged, which explains the stitches. And he's just shoving them all in with these sharp teeth. It's like, what the... Is Moria the father? Just reminds me of Moria. I was like, what in the world happened with his mouth?
Of course, you couldn't have a proper One Piece fight without the reveal being that, of course, Luffy's big opponent is just like just a big old goofball. And it's just like, of course, because you had the setup, right? It's just kind of like, oh, Katakuri, he's the best. He takes everything so seriously. He's so cool. He's awesome. He's, just on and on and on and on. And here he is, just kind of like, oh, the ease at which you can eat a donut, the forbidden fruit, the sinfulness, the donuttiness. It's true bliss. Thank you, donuts. And then as Luffy's punching through, you just have that flashback. Like, he's never laid down in his life. He's a man who looks even down even on the earth itself. He's proud and cold.
And I love how we get the side profile view of him with his mouth, closed, to see just how big his jaw is and how much is by that scarf. And
I love even the chefs are horrified.
Well, I guess he does have a normal mouth at times, because I guess his mouth can expand. He's kind of like a pelican.
Yeah. Oh, that's actually they'll bring that up later.
Okay.
Like that is the exact comparison. I think that was the intent.
Oh, okay. Because I was like, from the side, that's what he's like. Was, oh wait, he must have swallowed or something because his mouth is normal and he's looking very vampire-ish.
Yeah.
And
now you understand also why he wears the scarf to cover his mouth.
So amazing. Of course, Luffy's ready to go for it. The chefs are all running away. He's like, nope. You caught a glimpse of how I look when I eat. Can't let that happen. And it's like, it's like we saw nothing. We'll say nothing. Not if you tried to rip the words from my mouth. It's like, what did you say about rip mouths? And he just used edge mochi and just takes out all
those
these
guys
chefs.
Are dead.
Yeah,
they're dead. they
them.
Land on the wall and you see blood like dripping down as they like slide. It's crazy. Like he killed those guys.
Yeah, he was not thorough enough because he was at the end of his patience. So it's time for round 2, which is what a hell of a way to get into round 2.
What a crazy way to start round 2.
And I still love how he the mouth thing makes him ridiculous, but he still looks intimidating even with his just regular teeth. There.
Yeah. It's the perfect mix of like goofy and you really get the sense. I almost wonder that like. With the way that Katakuri is so particular about the way that he presents himself, I sort of get the sense that he's kind of trapped, right? With the way that even with the way, you saw Brule talk about him, he was like, stop it, right? Like he doesn't love being presented that way. So his Merienda is sort of like his personal time, right? Like this is the one place where he can be himself. Like he tried to keep this a secret, and I feel like. It's so similar in a way to Pudding, right? And I feel like how we've learned how Big Mom's kids really do kind of have to struggle with how they present their true selves versus...
Which explains why Lola left, why Chiffon's rebelling, why we've seen a couple of the kids rebel in certain ways because they just can't express themselves in their true way, which is fascinating. Some thrive in it, others still struggle. It's
and
interesting.
I feel like this is a really cool way to sort of really express like how Big Mom like wants to make a paradise for everybody can get along, but like she's clearly not capable, right? Like she has the right intention, but like the execution is so off that like all of her children and honestly even in a way like her husband's was poor Pound stuck in the ground for God knows how many years, right? Like she wanted to make a paradise, she wanted to make a place where everybody can belong, but she made a cage, and I feel like I also think about the symbolism of like the bird cage with Doflamingo, who also was trying to control things. I feel like that you can see sort of the elements at play here that Oda is dealing with.
Yeah, it's another sense of how Luffy is trying to break through something that is restricting freedom.
Yeah. And of course you see, like, that's the other thing, too, I really love about this interaction with Katakuri. Luffy, like, the whole thing about Katakuri's secret, Luffy does not care.
Does not care. Like, he's just like, hey, we're in for a fight. It's such a
non-factor. Yeah. They immediately go back to clashing. You get this interesting little line, too.
Even Haki is greater than Luffy's, because Luffy's hand is hurting after clashing like that. And both of his hands are, like, just bruised a bit. And Katakuri's going in for another punch, and Luffy finally gets a hit on him with a kick to the jaw. It's like, wait, he didn't dodge? My kick landed? And Katakuri's like, so what if it did?
Yeah, and Katakuri's mad at this point. Like, he's clearly getting flustered. And that's when I really love this too, because it's like he's starting to see how Katakuri ticks, right? He was like, I'm starting to figure out your powers. And of course, because Katakuri wants to end this as quickly as possible, he's like, what have you understood? Like, your abilities cannot match my own. And tries to go for his Rainfall Mochi. But Luffy's finally able to get the Gear 4 off.
Mm-hmm. He's like, you might be tough, but you're not invincible. And unleashes his Kong gun. And that's how we end the chapter. It's like, okay, Luffy has a way.
Yeah, the push and pull of this fight, I think we're really starting to get into.
Yeah, it's pretty great. Yet again, another SBS where we have more birthdays of all things. Somehow they're still sneaking in here. And somebody asked, if the rookies in the worst generation had modern day jobs, what careers would they have? And what country would they be from? So these are always kind of interesting, especially when it comes to live action One Piece. So Blackbeard from Somalia, he would have been an archaeologist, which is very interesting to go as archaeologist.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
That's something. Eustace Kidd would be from Scotland, a weapons dealer. Meanwhile, Killer would be a pasta chef, which I love how they just keep going back to pasta for him.
Yeah, the trauma.
Law is from Germany, of course, a doctor. Beige, naturally, Italy, be a shoemaker, which is interesting. A Scratch Man, Pooh would be from China. DJ, makes sense. Basil Hawkins from Egypt. Did not expect that one. Saying interior designer. Diaz Drake would be from Turkey, a zookeeper, which, all right.
Yeah. Well, his number for it is a dinosaur. So
I guess that's true. That is true. Bonnie would be from Australia, pizza chef. Yep. That makes sense.
Yeah, that tracks.
And a Rouge from India, which, yes, I can see. Hostess club manager? Sure, I don't quite see it, but sure.
Going full Goro Majima. Sure, why not?
Yeah, why not? Oh, goodness. Well, let's get to chapter 884. Who is that? And turns out that this fight that Ideo interrupted is a 1,000-year war between long legs and long arms, which, considering who our members are here, it's like, okay, apparently there's a thing going on.
I guess there's some racism going on.
I guess so.
Long legs and the long arms. I had no idea. That's great.
Yeah. All right, sure. But the Kong gun gets through, sends Katakuri flying back into a wall, and Luffy immediately begins saying, "It's like, I thought you were invincible. Arm and Haki is supposed to be the power to hit your solid form, and it's supposed to work on Logia powers. But my punches went right through you. I thought they didn't work, but I was wrong. My attacks can hit you." Your armor.
This whole sequence is so sick, by the way. To finally see Luffy get an edge on Katakuri, then he's just going in, just
taking him down. Everything.
Yeah, and it really does show that, like, yes, Katakuri is strong, but like Gear 4 hasn't been like outscaled just yet, right? Like, no. I feel like it would be so easy to be like, oh, hey, that new form that you just achieved sucks now. Everybody's stronger than it. But so, no, like, if Luffy can hit Katakuri, he can do some damage.
Oh, yeah. It's just a matter of hitting him. And that's when, as people brought up, is that Oda had to, like, Oda originally visioned Katakuri as a Logia user, but since Mochi's not naturally occurring, he can't be. So that's why he had to become, not be that. So it's that's when but I love how he adapted that to make it almost more interesting, to have a swerve.
Yes.
He took that little mistake and just decided to make it a little different here. It's like, it's not your Mochi powers that are so great, it's your color of observation. And he continues to just beat down Katakuri. He's going for the Kong organ. It's impressive that you can even detect what I'm doing. But yeah, basically, because of his observation Haki, knowing where Luffy's going to punch, he just moves his body.
Yeah, exactly.
Acts like it's not hitting.
That makes sense. It's sort of like he's acting like a Logia, but he's really, just using his powers to overcome that. I also love that with that line earlier about like how Katakuri's never been caught lying down. You have that sequence of him getting knocked back by the Rhino Schneider. He's sort of like he's in midair on his back, but then he plants his head into the ground and then does a backflip, which is just really cool.
That is really cool. I missed that little detail. That's pretty great. Of just continuing that whole thing. But as Katakuri says, by losing my grip and getting a bit excited, I allowed you the opportunity to attack. You need to be properly calm for observation Haki to work. How many years has it been since I was punched? I'm starting to understand how it was that Brother Cracker was defeated. And real quick thing here, I love how this is it's not stated. Luffy doesn't refer to it whatsoever. It's completely left to the reader to make the connection. It's a callback to Skypiea and dealing with the men there, the bad guys there. I forget what they were called. But dealing with all of them there. And that was the whole problem initially, where they seemed to be able to read minds or read what they were going to do and, prevent it or dodge or what have you. And they had to properly distract him in order to beat him. Same tactic here. It's just way more powerful and way harder to do.
Yeah.
Great.
And really, I think this is such a fun thing too, because it really is like kind of the perfect demonstration of kind of like, again, we learned kind of the basics about how Haki worked, but sort of getting a little peek into the lengths of what you can do with it once you train it, right? And then it's sort of, okay, in Skypiea, it was, sort of the basic form, the mantra, but now it is like, okay, you're dealing with somebody who can see just a little bit further ahead than you, and it is kind of, and I feel like even if Katakuri couldn't see the future, he would still probably be manhandling Luffy, just with like pure strength at this point. But like, it really is that future sight that does kind of give it that extra edge. I also love that now that Luffy knows the secret, Katakuri starts using donut attacks.
Yes, unstoppable donuts, and Luffy's hand is caught in Katakuri's body, stuck in the mochi. But he brings out two donuts and then brings out two fists from the middle of those donuts and starts just punching the crap out of Luffy.
It's so bonker.
And it's a solid hit. I think that's the first real hit we've seen Luffy take in Gear 4.
Yeah.
So, not invincible. It is it basically gets him evened up with Katakuri. So,
yes.
And then as Katakuri says, we're back to the starting point. I'm not giving you that opening again. So.
Man, again, the push and pull.
It's good stuff. Just
yeah,
they're figuring each other out.
Yeah, no, this fight is so good.
Oh, I love it. But time to check in on Chocolat Town in Cacao Island, and turns out Pound's back. he saw where they were headed and arrived at the sweets factory, and he just really wants to go inside, but of course nobody's letting her in because he's like, wait, that's Chiffon, please let me see her. She's just as cute as ever, and I want to say just one thing to her. And it makes me curious what that one thing is, because he doesn't make it in. He does not come inside.
Yeah, it's kind of sad in a way too, right? That sort of just kind of by like passing by is like, was that my daughter? Yeah. It's just like wait. I need to see this connection through to the end.
Mm-hmm. And they're getting a breakdown of what's going on from Brulee. It's like something wrong. Yes. He's like, no, it's nothing, Sister Brulee. And there's just like something happening outside. It's like there's some guy shouting out there. Don't worry, nobody's coming inside. And Brulee breaks it down for them. It's like at 1 o'clock, the Straw Hat ship is going to show up at Cacao Island where you are. Like, wait, they're coming here? That's the rendezvous with their captain, Straw Hat Luffy. On the other hand, he's not going anywhere since he can't beat Brother Katakuri. So 9 hours from now, the Straw Hats will arrive there. It's already been an hour of them fighting, by the way.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
Waiting for a captain who won't show up. So, just be ready to have the cake set whenever Big Mom gets there. They won't be, the other Straw Hats won't be a match for Oven and his forces, and they're already there. And here comes Oven, ready to take command, and it's like, wait, even this place is off limits even to me. It's like, no, Pudding said no one's allowed in. Pudding's orders. Like, well, if you say so, I'm not going to make a fuss. I'll honor it, but what's with the fuss? And that's of course Pound.
Yeah, it's really interesting too how we're kind of in this section where like Big Mom's kids, other than Katakuri, like they're kind of fortifying their forces now, right? Like they're trying to cut them off at whatever point that they can.
Yeah, and just having everything ready, and they've suffered some defeats, but they are still extremely strong. Like this is still all about the escape. But Oven beats up Oven. Oven beats up Pound. It's like, oh, I remember why. Remember you, former stepfather. That's why I'm driving you off. It's like, what the heck happened to Pound?
Yeah, I don't know. I really. It's kind
of. I wonder if Pound helped Lola escape.
Ooh, see, I don't remember what's going on here with this, so that is a. I like that theory. That's a good. Yeah, I'm on that team too now.
Somehow Pound helped Lola ruin the whole thing with the giants. Which would explain why.
I can totally see that.
Yeah, we'll see what that's actually all about. But yeah. But of course, Chiffon has no idea what's going on out there. It's like
the irony.
It's like, did you hear all that, Sanji dear? Luffy's in trouble. I can't believe he's fighting Brother Katakuri alone. That man is a superhuman. He's got a billion-berry bounty. He's like, he's never lost a fight in his life. What should we do? It's like, there's a first time for everything. It looks like today's a lucky day. So don't worry. Let's just make that cake. And of course, she gets all flustered.
That absolute confidence, man. Again, we were talking about that with Nami earlier, but just even from with everything that Sanji's been through at this point, you just have that absolute confidence and be like, nah, like, my captain's got it, He never bet against Luffy. So, heck yeah.
Love it. And Montdor has just now learned that Big Mom's attacking Nuts Island, not Cacao. So, it's not great. But then they got back to the report of the seafloor, and every last territory sea slug is gone. I was like, why? Are they dead? And then we get a little song. It's like, come sing a song with me, my little sluggy dears. Security, security reports no time for singing. That's divine.
I like that they got it to rhyme.
Yeah, that is really impressive.
That's good translation.
And they're just like, it's so weird that we're not getting caught. They don't see anybody, or don't let our guard down, but we're not seeing anybody. It's like, that's when Jinbei is like, I wonder if Aladdin and the others got home safely. I hope so. And that's when we see that I forget her name, but Aladdin.
Praline.
it might be Praline, but yeah, Aladdin's wife / one of the Charlottes is the one using her song to bring in all the sea slugs to her, and they're all happy. And
I was right. It's Praline.
It's Praline. Yep. Praline, nice. Again, no, she gets to be herself. She has a husband that actually cares about her, and she's helping them out. So
it does really feel like everybody's kind of coming together, right? Like, and not even coordinating necessarily, right? Like they kind of did this on their own.
Just doing what they can, just this little bit they can do to help to do something for each other. And it's helping out Luffy, but it also helped out Beige and will help out Germa. Like all these little, like, almost like, I don't even know how to put it, just little operations are slowly throwing off Big Mom completely. It doesn't help that she's, she's completely out of her mind. So.
Oh, man.
Oh, goodness. We do have another SBS, a lot of SBSs this time. Where somebody points out, it's like, hey, Oda, you showed Katakuri eating before. He had a bite out of this thing. I don't even know what that is. But there's a bite mark in it. I was like, oh, geez, how do people find these things? Yes, technically, it's not that Katakuri doesn't eat in front of others. It's that he doesn't let people see him eat. So watch this. And it's just bite. It's an instantaneous thing.
He's so fast.
Also, it turns out his mouth wasn't ripped from birth. There's a reason for his incredible speed, but I'm still thinking about whether or not to reveal that in the story. It's like, reveal. Love to know. We also get some sizes that we're working with here. There's been a lot of really tall guys like Katakuri and Doflamingo. And what's the difference between them and the shortest of the giants? And it's like, all right, let's start with Big Mom, who looks practically gigantic herself. She's 28 feet, 10 inches tall. That's bigger than Whitebeard, which, oh my God.
Lord.
That's incredible. Meanwhile, the shortest of fully grown giant can be is about 40 feet tall. So that's at least 2 heads taller than Big Mom. So yeah, that's still 12 feet taller than Big Mom, which is insane. 2 full-sized adults taller than Big Mom as a typical giant. So 40 feet is about the length of a full-size buses and 18-wheelers. So if you see one of those big boys, just imagine that a giant in One Piece world is about the same size lying down, which...
God. Those
the sizes
are some
we're working
big
with here,
boys. Right? Yeah.
Seriously. And that's the short
It's funny. Yeah, right. And it's funny because we learned Katakuri and his siblings, they're like 15 feet, right? Like they're not, they're certainly not short.
But still only half the size of Big Mom.
Yeah, which just goes even to show. I'm kind of thinking, I'm trying to remember how tall Kaido is. I'm trying to think if he's bigger than Big Mom or not. I don't remember, and I feel like he might be around the same height.
It could be. Again, Shanks is the odd one out.
Yeah, right. The only normal sized emperor. Literally God. Just a dude with one arm.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and get to our final chapter for the set. 885, I'm Brûlé. And turns out they're all moored on a lonely island, so they have to build a ship out of the undamaged parts. So it's Luffy's whole crew working together while the 2 leaders of the long legs and the long arms are fighting in the background. So, sure.
This one took a turn. I was not expecting this one to go where this one went.
Yeah. How odd.
How odd.
But we get back into the fight, and Katakuri's tough again, and the Kong gun is not enough to get through. He's too aware, and Luffy's being sent off.
Yeah.
Donuts are coming out. More power emojis are coming out. They're just punching him.
Yeah.
Luffy is back on the back foot.
Back foot, yep. Didn't last very long. I do like that with that first Kong gun that Luffy tries to get off, that like Katakuri basically cuts him off, right? Like before he can make contact with him. So it just really is like, oh, that future sight. You just can't deal with it. And I love the Katakuri's like, I believe you were confirming, as long as I am calm and cool, I'm effectively invincible, yes?
Oh no, you will expose your weakness again. You are beatable. and yet you seem to be deflating. It's like, oh crap, you're right. Gear 4's running out. Time to change tactics. So thanks for that. I'm not able to use hockey for 10 minutes, so I got to get away from you. Bye.
Yeah, all right, time to run. Which again, I really does feel like Gear 4, man, like that time limit, just time and time again, really does end up being an issue. And then poor Luffy here is just blah and just sort of sputtering out.
I like that he keeps those weaknesses because, okay, yeah, Luffy can now do Gear 2 and Gear 3 without any issue, but they're not as strong as Gear 4. And Gear 4 does have that built-in issue that he has to deal with, the limited time and so forth.
Yeah. And a time limit, I think, it is a better drawback than, like, Gear 3 where he was tiny for a little bit and had to run away. So it is like, technically, you're fine, you just can't use hockey.
Yeah. And that's definitely an issue.
It really does kind of make, like, it really does kind of cement Gear 4 as kind of the finisher as opposed to kind of the mid-battle, so, yeah.
You kind of have to be confident that you can finish it off at that point.
Yeah.
And at least it's a nice natural tension, because the same thing happened with Doflamingo.
Yeah.
And that led to that whole survival aspect for a while. But, yeah. He's running off. Katakuri's like, I didn't think you'd give out so soon. And he's giving chase. And that's when Luffy comes across Brule, and he just smiles at her, which makes her scream.
Poor Brule's back to being a butt monkey. Back to just like, all right. Luffy just grabs her and just like, all right, time to run.
And Katakuri's like, what were you doing there? He tries to go after him. But they're already through the mirror. All Katakuri does is shatter the mirror. Brule and Luffy have gotten away, and they land in some sort of town. And he's like, "Oh, thanks, Branch." It's like, "I'm Brule," which is how we get our title.
Can't keep it up. Yep.
It's like, all right, cool. Now I just have to wait here, let my hockey come back, and that's when we look up and see, oh, this is Nuts Island.
Yeah,
nuts.
We have jumped into Big Mom just like tearing off just like the top of the nut and just wetting not cake. And then this poor Sparrow is just kind of like, of course there's no cake here. This is Nuts Island. And there's no Straw Hats here either. And then he's just kind of like, wait, in fact, Straw Hat is, wait, Straw Hat? What?
What happened there is like, well, go get him. We have a direction to go towards. Like, wait, what is Big Mom doing here? I thought she was chasing the Sunny, and then the big nut gets thrown at him, and Brulee's like, oh god. And Luffy grabs Brule and starts running. It's like, so she's captured again. It's like, Brother Perros, save me.
Just the chaos is so good.
Mm-hmm. And I love this demonstration where Luffy, again, can't use hockey, but can still use Gear 3's giant pistol. But the candy's too strong. He can't get through it. Fortunately, our long-necked, big hat-hatted woman who likes to do the slow cuts to make it feel as painful as possible, she does cut through it. Is that Amand?
So she's actually pretty strong. Yeah, Amand, I think.
Yes.
Or Amande. I don't remember.
And she goes for it, but he's able to avoid and keep going. So it's just like, hey, Perros, get this candy out of my way. And here comes the candy slug that Big Mom's going to ride on top of. It's like, I'm just going to assume that everybody else got away safely. So let's keep going. So
yeah,
he gets away from the fight with Katakuri, but he has to deal with Big Mom now. Which is
just out of the frying pan and into the fire.
Well, having to keep a hold of Brule so we can get away.
Yes.
And I love how Brule is just literally a plot device that she gets passed around.
No, she's literally a plot device. It's just this poor woman has been through enough, and it's just she was introduced to be so intimidating, and now she's just like, God help me.
She's had it rough, but it's so good. But we go back to the Sea of Taroland, and Nami has changed again. I think this might be the most Nami has changed in a single arc. My God,
is this her third or fourth outfit?
I think it's her fourth, maybe even fifth. It's hard to say. It's like so quiet and such smooth sailing. It's like it won't go easily the entire time. Not with Emperor's Pride at stake. We need to get back on the straight route. If we can't rendezvous with Sanji and the cake he's bringing, then not only will we stay split up, we're going to be chased by Big Mom forever.
Yes.
And then we do another cut to Big Mom's forces and all of her ships are out to sea. It's like
they're consolidating her forces.
We've taken a terrible blow from the Straw Hats, the treacherous cohorts who betrayed our queen, the fire tank, the fire tank pirates. Not to mention the fishmen who vanished and the pirates of the sun. All of these are at large on the sea within Toto Land. Find them, sink them, and time to just spread out and get them all. So
it's a good setup for kind of our final stretch here, right? Like the tension
and there is Smoothie,
rising.
So theoretically, Smoothie could get into the fight. Who knows? But man, the complete show of force on display here. It just matter of pride and so forth.
It really does go to show like the consequences of messing with an emperor, right? Like getting out of the territory is, I think, probably going to prove to be, the most difficult challenge yet.
Mm-hmm. Like even if they can placate Big Mom, it's going to be hard to still get away. Because Luffy may be able to defeat Katakuri, but whew.
It's gonna be a little rough. It's going to take a lot to get this to all come together, which I think is kind of the most exciting part, right?
Yeah, I will say, I said I had a prediction. I'm going to predict how the fight between Luffy and Katakuri is going to end. I don't know if it's the most satisfying way, so I don't know if I'm exactly right. Mm-hmm. But I almost wonder if something's going to happen that Katakuri gets in Big Mom's way and he loses some of his life to her soul steal. She's going to attack Perospero or one of the other family members. He tries to step in. And then
because I guess from what we've seen from Katakuri up to this point, right, that like protecting his siblings is kind of like his number one priority. And I think in a situation, if he had to choose between fighting Luffy and protecting the siblings, he's going to choose protecting his siblings.
Yes. So I don't know if that's entirely satisfying to have Big Mom be the one to kind of take out Katakuri. But I did have that thought of like, that would be an interesting way to just take him down.
Yeah. Because you think about that, right? Like, I feel like that is kind of what the first half of this fight, which I think I could say pretty, confidently. Like that was kind of the end of kind of our first little bout. The fight's not done yet.
Yeah.
But like we haven't solved the fact that like Luffy is still kind of underpowered, right? Like as things are going, as the fight continues to go, I think it's become clear that he's not as strong as Katakuri. So something has to happen in order to give him that edge. And like Gear 4 got him really close, but it wasn't quite enough. So
he needs some way to break his concentration. So his family members in danger might be that thing.
Yeah,
so we'll
for
see.
Sure.
But we end off by checking in on Chocolat Town once again. And somebody has collapsed. One of the chefs have collapsed, and they're all worried about poison from Sanji. And he's like, "No, ask him how it was. It was deathly delicious." It's like, wait, he's dying of flavor. Look at the bliss on his face. And
he's going. I love like the god rays coming down, like oh.
This fresh cream is Sanji's secret ingredient, the true essence of sweetness. I want to try it too. It's like, all right. The ultimate cream, Sim Sim Whip. You'll have to hold off on this for now, Pudding, because I can't afford to lose your cooking ability. And of course, Mix was like,
right. We need you to stay alive.
So we got all this. So everything's ready. The chiffon cake, ready and good to go. The cake, the chocolate that's so milky smooth and ready to be poured, all set to go. It's sliding right out of the pot. It's so silky smooth. It's 5 minutes till 6 o'clock. Right on schedule, so get ready to sail. It's time to meet up with the Sunny, and prepare the cake on the way, because we're gonna knock Big Mom out with this cake that's so good.
It's so funny that like Sanji really is like, I'm gonna go bake a cake. Like he's having the easiest time out of all of this, but after everything that he's been through, it is satisfying that like Sanji just gets to show off, right?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
he just gets to. He's in his element. He's like, all right, like let's do this thing.
Again, it's showing that that cooking aspect of him is important, just as important as everything else.
For sure, and also that like. Not only the cooking, but I feel like having a place where sort of like his talents and sort of like the Straw Hats are the one place where like Sanji's true self, even the pervy parts can be appreciated, right? Like he doesn't have to hide himself. He doesn't have to, tone down parts of himself. Whereas you see that's something that like, Big Mom's children have to, like repeatedly struggle with, and that ends up being a problem. And I think kind of Sanji getting to express himself in his like to kind of achieve freedom in his own way, I think is really, really satisfying. So I'm as much as I like to poke fun, like, oh, Sanji got the easiest part, but it's really cool to see him kind of just like just really nail it.
It stays thematic, and man, It's just entertaining. It's just fun. Again, not a lot of plot momentum with this set, but a lot of character like placement that we've seen in the past. Going forth, and some momentum when it comes to fighting Katakuri and his secrets and so forth. We are so close to the end here, and
so close to the end.
dying to see exactly what's going to happen with this. Like it's just like. What is going on?
Dude, oh man, it is so. I can't believe it. Knowing what I know is coming up. Like, and again, we got 3 or 4 sets left of this really. So like it's do or die time really for kind of the final act. And it's just been fantastic. I am continuously enjoying Whole Cake every week. Every week that we get to talk about it, I'm just like, this arc is just wonderful.
It's been so much fun. But with that, I believe we've said all we've wanted to say about chapters 881 to 885 of One Piece. Thank you so much for listening, and you can find more of my ramblings and stream VODs over at BitNerd Games on YouTube or simply BitNerd on BlueSky. And Brandon, where can everyone find you at?
I am Brandon Bovia on Twitter and BlueSky. I talk about anime, manga, games, and my job, and that's just more of that. I guess the fall season of anime started yet. I haven't watched literally anything yet. Maybe look out for my thoughts on some stuff. I have a handful of shows that I want to check out here and there.
I was thrown off at the final season of My Hero Academia is this season.
Yeah, right. Like I didn't.
Like, oh wow,
I didn't really understand how far they were from the manga. Was that last year that the manga ended?
I think so. They weren't that far behind.
Yeah.
So
honestly, that's weird.
Pretty impressed. I haven't watched it in so long. So I'm.
Yeah, me neither. Not since like season 3.
Yeah, something like that.
So,
but
pretty wild. But yeah, man.
Hopefully,
also, we're almost at chapter. We're almost at chapter 900, which also feels like kind of a big deal.
It really does feel like a big deal. Like they were like, oh God, we are within 200 chapters of catching up? No, not 200.
We're in the 1160s, so like 300-ish.
Yeah, 300-ish chapters of catching up. A little less than 300 till we're caught up, which
that's still bonkers.
That's still a lot.
And again, that feels like there's so much that happens between now and then, and I can't. There's so many just like ideas and twists and lore and world building that's just like we haven't even been introduced to yet. So
I love it.
All in due time. Let's finish up Whole Cake and then get on to the really good stuff.
Absolutely. So if you'd like to help us out more, you can support the podcast over at patreon.com/Derrick Bittner. That's DerrickBitner to listen to the next episode ad-free 3 days early, as well as patron-exclusive bonus episodes. And make sure to return next time as we discuss chapters 886 to 890 of One Piece. So until then, my friends, bye.
Remember to take life one piece at a time.
my back door. That's a forbidden sweet, always knocks me off my feet.